Welcome back to the Career Edge, where we talk about how work actually works. I'm Leslie Ferry. Over the last 4 episodes, we've built something together. We reframed what intelligence actually means at work, not just what you think you know, but also what you notice. We separated reflection from replay and established that examined experience is what compounds growth, not experience alone. We defined adjustment as variable testing, one deliberate refinement. Test it consistently, observed carefully. And we established that you have the ability to become the performance engineer of your own career growth. Today, the final episode is about making sure that actually happens. Because here's the uncomfortable truth about everything we've covered in this series, and why most professionals who understand it still don't benefit from it. Understanding the loop and running the loop are two completely different things. Most professionals who learn about the performance loop, or any framework for that matter, apply it once or twice and then quietly drift back into their old patterns. Not because they don't care, not because they lack discipline, but because the loop never became a habit. And habits don't form from good intentions. They form from triggers. Here's the good news. The performance loop doesn't need more time in your day. It needs a trigger. Instead of asking, when should I reflect? Attach reflection to something that already happens. Not a new calendar block competing with everything else on your plate. An existing moment that already occurs in your week. Before you close your laptop at the end of the day, reflect. Right after a significant conversation or meeting, reflect. At the start of your weekly planning, reflect. After presenting an idea or making a key decision, reflect. Let the event become the cue. You're not adding work. You're upgrading what already happens. I want to be honest with you about something. This episode is personal. One of the most chaotic career roles you can occupy is that of a founder. The range of topics you think about and act on in a single day is wide. It's a player coach role. You decide, you guide, and then you help execute, often within the same hour. And in that pace, the loop can quietly slip. Not because I don't believe in it. I built a product around it, but because I hadn't anchored it. I've been running on instinct, making adjustments reactively, reflecting occasionally rather than structurally. I was doing exactly what I caution others against. So, in 2026, my year of intentional change, I made it specific. There's a Post-it note on my desk right now that says, Daily Reflection, Your Performance Loop. When I close my laptop, that's the cue. Some days I realize I've actually already reflected earlier, when a conversation ended or right after a decision. And that's how I know the habit is strengthening. It shows up naturally rather than requiring effort. Other days, I close my laptop, see the Post-it, and I realize I've been moving through the entire day on autopilot. And that's useful information too, because this isn't about perfection. It's about rhythm. The days I follow through feel different as well. They feel more grounded, more intentional, like I'm building something rather than just moving through things. That's what consistency creates. And I wanted you to know, because if someone who built their career around this framework had to deliberately anchor it with a Post-it note, you're not behind. You're just human. To sustain the loop, keep the reflection brief. 5 to 10 minutes is enough. Focus or start with 3 questions. That's all. 1, what worked today or this week? 2, where did momentum feel lighter and where did it stall? 3, what one variable will I test next? Not a full analysis, not a personality overhaul, not a judgment of your worth as a professional. One deliberate refinement. Small shifts compound. Large overhauls fade. The loop becomes stronger when it's visible. So keep a running note, a document, a journal, even a post-it. As you reflect, jot down these things. Outcome I was aiming for. Signal I noticed. Adjustment I'm testing. Over time, patterns emerge, and patterns build judgment. That's where intelligence expands, not from new information, but from examined experience made visible over time. For managers, that habit extends naturally beyond personal performance, as we've discussed. Your weekly reflection includes everything we've established across this series. Where did clarity hold for my team, and where did it break? Where did ownership stick, or where did I slip? What friction repeated, and what does that tell me about the system I'm designing? What one system-level adjustment will I test next week? Not 10 adjustments, one. Consistently tested, carefully observed. Consistency shapes environment. Environment shapes performance. Performance compounds over time. We've covered a lot across these 5 episodes, but I want to leave you with something simple. The performance loop isn't a framework you learn once and apply occasionally. It's a rhythm you build into how you work. A loop you run once isn't a loop. It's an event. Growth compounds when the loop runs consistently, not when you understand it intellectually. You now have everything you need. The awareness questions from episode 2, the reflection structure from episode 3, the one variable discipline from episode 4, and the trigger approach from today. The question isn't whether you understand the loop. The question is whether you'll run it consistently, deliberately, as a rhythm rather than an occasional event. That's the career edge. Intelligence times reflection times adjustment equals growth. The performance loop is the foundation of Zandra, the career growth partner we've built at Bryce. If you want to experience what this looks like applied to your own work, try First Insight at myzandra.ai. It's free, takes less than 10 minutes, and there's no sign-up required. Zandra will guide you through a focused conversation that helps you see how your own loop is running, your strengths, your patterns, and where a small shift could make a real difference. There's a link in the description. And if this series added something to how you think about work, be sure to share it with someone else who will benefit too.